Today I'm going to show you how to set up the back end of Shopify. It's really quite simple. Just follow the steps and you'll be able to set up your store very quickly. If you wouldn't mind and you want to go and check out Shopify right now, you can go ahead and click on the link that's down below here in the comment section of this video. If you go to Shopify, what's good about it is that you can actually use Shopify for 14 days and then pick your plan later. So if you wanted to just like start a trial plan and then kind of mess around with the back end and see if you like it, then you can do that. There are other e-commerce systems out there, BigCommerce, Miva Merchant, things like that, 3D Cart, WooCommerce, all of them have their pros and cons. So if you don't know which shopping cart to choose, then please feel free to contact us also in the information below as well. Shopify has multiple plans. Obviously you can start for the 14 days to test it out, but most people just need the basic Shopify to get a store up and running, and you can basically set this up in about 24 hours and have your store running tomorrow. So depending on whether you're going to choose a drop shipping service, or you're going to do print on demand, or you're going to sell your own products, etc., it's a good place to start is by just starting with the basic version. Now you can get onto their pricing page and then you can scroll down and see which one would actually best fit your needs. If you start looking at this, includes website, and blog, big deal, okay? Unlimited products, that's pretty awesome. Staff accounts, this means that so many people can actually have accounts with your system. So if you have an account and then you have an assistant or someone else helping you, you could both be logged in at the same time. So the down caveat for this is if you have 3 people and then they both try to log in under the other person's account and then you're logged in, they're not going to be able to log in. So that's why they have these different staff accounts, 5, 15, etc. The support's actually very good. You can email, contact them in the forums. The forums are actually really good. You'll more than likely get an answer from one of the Shopify experts like us before you would get an answer from Shopify, which is fine. Sales channel. This is marketplaces, social media. So sales channels, when you actually create to go sell a product on Shopify, you're going to end up selling your product on the actual Shopify store. Well, you can actually hook in Facebook and Instagram and other marketplaces to sell your products. Granted, you are going to have an e-commerce store or business account with those other vendors before you can hook it up. It's not that you just turn it on and then it starts working. So we're going to make another video on how to do that in a later chapter. Manual order creation. So if someone calls you or you just want to create a manual order, you can do that. Discount codes, coupon codes are built in, so you can create as many as you want. It's already secure, so you don't have to worry about digital security certificates. Abandoned cart recovery. Shopify has a basic setting built into it to send emails X number of days after somebody goes to your store, they start entering information, and then they leave the site for whatever reason. So, and then the good thing about Shopify is you have a lot of apps that you can actually add for free that can do a lot of the things that you're looking for the site to do. Now, I'll talk about apps and about themes a little bit later, but when you start to do this, you can start off with the basic and free themes, and just to get started and start using it, and then you can change, upgrade, or add other apps or change themes based on what you need. So gift cards are not in the basic version, so if you are going to sell gift cards, you are going to want to upgrade right away to the $79 plan. Okay. Professional reports. So Shopify has basic reports that are already built into the site. They're just sales reports and basic information. So if you need anything that's more advanced or detailed reporting, you're going to want to upgrade that as well. And then this has this advanced report builder. So that's for companies that need to be able to do X, Y, Z and be able to customize the actual reports based on that. There are also apps that can run detailed reports for you, so it may be cheaper to just add the app to another plan in order for it, instead of paying that extra fee, the $300 a month. Third-party calculated shipping rates. Show calculated rates with your own account or third-party apps. Well, you can add Shopify out of the box has USPS, United States Postal Service. So if you are in the United States, it will set that up by default, and it will get you real-time rates. You can set up free shipping, you can set up weight-based shipping, and you can set up price-based shipping, as well as the default USPS setting. Well, if you have UPS or FedEx or DHL, you are going to have an account with those particular vendors. And then in order to add them to Shopify, you can contact them, and you're going to add a third-party vendor, which I'll show you a little bit later in the setup. So you're going to have to add third-party vendor. It's typically $20 extra a month on top of each of the plans. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll start off with the cheap plan, the inexpensive plan, and then add the additional apps, and then decide whether it's going to be more cost-effective to just have them on another plan, or to just use the base plan and add 20, 20, 20, whatever you need to do in order to get the site to work and be functional based on your needs. So what will happen typically is we would create a development store, and then if there are, without you having to sign up for Shopify, but if you go ahead and sign up through Shopify through that wonderful link that's down below, then you can all go ahead and start the trial yourself. Well, if you contact us directly, we can go ahead and get a development store started for you, which won't cost anything, and it's an unlimited time for the trial. So the only time you would actually end up paying for anything is if we had to transfer the store to you because of some paid application. So if you purchase a paid theme or a paid application, a paid app, then the store would have to be transferred to you, and then you'd have to pick a plan. So at the moment, if you do a development store, we can add, do the development, do integration with one of the 3 free themes or customize a theme, and then add free apps to it. And then if you need to add paid apps or a paid theme, then we transfer, and then you would sign up for the Shopify plan. Shopify Shipping, if you look at this, competitive shipping rates from USPS, UPS, DHL Express, you could look into this yourself underneath on Shopify's website here. They have their own shipping system, and that's the percentage rates that they have. Okay, print shipping labels, which is very cool. Like I said, Shopify uses USPS out of the box, so you'll be able to print shipping labels directly from USPS. So you do all the order fulfillment and everything, shipping, tracking numbers, and everything right within Shopify. So you don't need another application in order to control your shipping. But say, for instance, you are shipping and have multiple stores. Say, for instance, you have an Etsy store and you have another store on eBay or on Amazon, and you also have the Shopify site, but you want to be able to control your shipping in one place. ShipStation, and there are also a lot of other shipping apps out there, but ShipStation seems to do the job pretty well. You pay a fee through ShipStation.com, and then there's an app that runs, I think it's about $10 a month, to hook in the Shopify. And then what happens is you'd launch your ShipStation every day, and then all of your orders and everything would just go into ShipStation, and then it syncs back into Shopify and to your other sites as well. Shopify Payments and fraud analysis. The fraud analysis, they do it by default. They're the ones that are actually charging the credit cards, and then they deposit the balances into your account. If you are using Shopify Payments, okay, and you're not using your own credit card processing or PayPal checkout, then you're going to pay these fees here. So on the lower plan, you have 2.9% of the transaction plus 30 cents. That's for the gateway. Okay, and then the higher the plan that you go, the lower the rate that they actually use for you. So if you're paying a $300 plan, you're at 2.4%, still 30% per transaction. Most people will just choose a $79 plan, and they get 2.6 and 30 cents per transaction. Some people have their own credit card terminals. You're not going to be able to use that with Shopify, unfortunately. So if you wanted to actually use your own merchant account with Shopify, then they charge you an additional $20 per month. They would lower the percentage rate to 1, 2, or 2%, and then you would pay your merchant account fees on top of that percentage. So it's really not advantageous for you to use your own merchant account or gateway with Shopify unless there's some other reason for you to do that. In-person credit card rates, Shopify has a POS system, point of sale system, that you can actually use on an iPad. It's a little app that runs, and you get lower percentage rates based on that particular system. Additional fees using all payment providers other than Shopify Payments. So on the lower plan, you are going to pay 2%. So say, for instance, you have authorized net and you're getting 2.19%, you're going to pay 2% on top of that. So you're paying 4.19% to do a merchant transaction, a credit card transaction. That's crazy. And then you're going to pay your 30 cents at your vendor probably, or 25 cents, on top of that. So something to keep in mind. If you really absolutely have to do it, then you don't want these fees, then maybe Shopify is not the way to go for you. Shopify Pos App, that's what I was just talking about. It's free with all the systems, so you can actually download it onto your tablet or whatever, and then say, for instance, you set up at a kiosk or at a vendor system or something like that, and you're taking, or your actual retail location, and you're accepting credit card payments, then you can use the Shopify point of sale system. Register shifts, you can look into that under the forum. Hardware peripheral support, they get into that on their own systems here. Unlimited Shopify POS staff pins. So you can also look into all the point of sale systems, third-party point of sale apps. I'm not going to cover any of that. So that's a whole different animal altogether. You have down here Shopify Lite, Shopify Plus, and these are really more expensive. So if you're an enterprise grade company, say you're doing $100,000 a month, $200,000, $500,000, whatever it is, and you have Fortune 5, you end up paying more for the Shopify Plus, and there's a lot of things that are actually built into Shopify Plus that are added apps on the lower versions, and then you have more fees. So it can run $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, etc. Once you contact Shopify and let them know what you actually need. So if you are that type of vendor, congratulations. Otherwise, most people can go with the lower or the middle base plans for Shopify. So you can set up your store and you can pick a plan later. You get the 14-day trial. Okay, and then you can go down. You can just go on the Shopify's website, but use my link below so that I get a little kickback. Thank you very much. There's a setup fee, no setup fee. Do I need to enter my credit card details? No. Only when you've got to pick a plan. You can use your own domain name later. So initially what will happen is they're going to use whatever name you use to set it up, .myshopify.com. So in the case of our example, which I'm going to show you, I'm using coolwares.com. So it's coolwares.myshopify.com. It's going to end up being the domain name for this. So when I first set it up, and then later I'll actually add my domain to this. Bandwidth fees, there are none. They just do it. Then Webhooks, you don't need it. They have their own system. What's cool is you can add a buy button onto your website. So say, for instance, you have a WordPress website and you have the Shopify site, but on your Shopify you have all the products, but you only want one product. On your other website, you can add a buy button onto that page, and it'll kick them over to Shopify to purchase the product from your website. So some people have WordPress, and then they may or may not add WooCommerce, which is the e-commerce side of WordPress. In the event that you're not using that and you just want to add one simple product or 2 or 3 or 10 or do all of them, you can do them with individual buy buttons by going on each of the products, and then you can select the buy button, grab the code, and then you embed it onto the page that for your WordPress or other website that you're using. Yeah, you can cancel your site at any time, and whatever work you do obviously is gone. There's no contracts, they're month to month. Discounted plans based on if you pay annual. Change your plan later. Yes, Shopify is PCI compliant, so you don't have to worry about going through and having any kind of the data. They're the ones to secure all the data. So if your merchant account provider is requiring that you use the PCI compliance, you're not using it on Shopify, you're not using a merchant account on Shopify, then you don't have to worry about it. A lot of the times you would end up just putting in your office IP address. So say, for instance, you're using like TrustWave or another company, security metrics or something to test your PCI compliance, then usually you just put your office IP address and just use your own systems instead of Shopify. So the point of sale questions, you can go through this, take a look. What does Shopify POS do? Merge Shopify, blah, 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 okay? Cash register receipt, all right. So let's go through the back end. What I ended up doing was setting up this development store. Here's my wonderful link. So if you click on that, you get to this page here. It's a sell online with Shopify. You put in your email address. You can start your trial right away. And then it talks about, pricing as low as $9 a month, blah, 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 okay? So I come back here. I have this website that is just a demo website, and you can't see the URL at the top, but it says coolwares.myshopify.com. Okay. Well, when you first start a Shopify account and you have a trial, it puts everything as password protected. So if people get to this site, so say for instance you're going to start making your website and you want to start marketing it, you can share, tweet it, pin it, whatever. They can go to your website now and then go ahead and set up their email address, and then they get notified. So when you go ahead and do launch the website, it'll automatically send out, or you can actually trigger it to send out an email to notify everybody that your website is launched. So enter using a password. So Shopify creates a password by default. So if I want to be able to see the store, I actually have to enter the password here. Well, I'm in the administration on the other side here. I went ahead and created my trial. This is a development store actually. But if you create your trial, you'll see the same exact thing. You'll get home. It says get ready to sell online. You can go through all of these and click on them. There's nothing in here now because you don't have any products, you don't have any customers, you don't have any discounts or apps. There's online store here, which actually allows you to download the theme, to add navigation, to manage the posts, the blog posts, the pages, and the domain and the preferences. So pages, real simple, is if you need to put an about page or a contact page or another page, you add them here. You click on pages, real simple. I'm just going to go ahead and create an about page. So, and then you are going to get this notification that to disable the password in order for people to see it. So I don't have any pages in my store. I want to create an about page. I'm just going to go ahead and create ad, and then I'm going to call it about. Okay. And what's really cool is you have this little WYSIWYG editor here. Text. You could if you could use Word, you can use this. You can insert images, video, clear formatting. And this little guy here, show HTML. So if you like to put some code in here, so I can say this is my about page. Okay. So if I wanted to bold that, I can select that, and then I wanted to select underline here, real simple. I want to center everything. That's real simple. You just go here, alignment, center align, and then you can play around with the colors if you want. It may actually make a link. So say for instance you wanted to link the about page to something, you use this little guy right here, and then you could link it. You can start typing here. A lot of times if you have a page, you can link directly to that. The link title, you always want to enter these just for usability for SEO. So say for instance I'm going to my about page, but I want to link it to something else. I can do it in the same window or a new window. If you're linking to PDFs or to other things, it's always nice to open them in a new window so that you still have your website in the other tab, so people don't have to go back and that way. So this is kind of important. So if you are going to link out to other pages, just to make sure that you define whatever that link title is, so that it's readable by search engines and also by what people are going to search for that. It's one little thing you can do to help. You have these tables. I don't recommend using tables, just they don't look good on responsive. When you start doing different devices and things, the table formats and gets squished and looks weird. But if it's a small table, then you can go ahead and insert it. Here's insert image, real simple. You can insert the image, it uploads it just like any other site. You can go to uploaded images, product images, URL. So if you already know the URL of where it is, great. Product images, I don't have any. Then uploaded image, I haven't uploaded any. You just select upload file. You go find the image and then you upload it, and then it'll place it onto Shopify's server. Okay. Video, it does locally hosted video. You can also embed. So say for instance I need this to be larger text, and I don't heading 1 isn't big enough, right? So I can look at the code here, and then I can make it bigger, font style, whatever. I can make it larger. So I actually have control over the code. So everything looks good on here. I go down here, it goes edit SEO, website SEO. This is good for your, if you start typing any content in here, and you start going through and putting all your information, and notice how the web SEO starts to pick up, and it'll actually default and give you the exact amount of characters that are needed for the SEO down there. So it'll chop it off, once you go into the search engine and you start searching and things. So now, if you don't want to use the content that's up there, you just click on edit website SEO, and then you can change the page title. So right now I have about, but I don't want my SEO to be that. I want that to be a about coolwares, right? So that's what I want, about coolwares. I don't want just about. I named the page about. If I had named the page about coolwares here, it would actually use the page title here. So now here's my description. I don't want all this stuff that's in here for my description. I want to call it something else. So once I'm finished typing in here, and you can hide the page too. So say for instance you don't want people to see it yet, you can do that as well. And then the theme that I'm using only has these two pages on it. So other themes have more pages already built into it. This is a free theme, and so it only gives you the default 2 pages. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and select Save. Okay. Now, if I want to see the website without having to actually enter the password here, right? I'm the admin. I'm already logged in, right? So I could view it on my store right now by clicking that. Incorrect. Let me go to online store. I got an online store. It does use the debut theme out of the box. And then I go ahead and look at preview. And it'll give me a preview of the store. So right now I've got nothing. I don't have anything in my admin or anything. So I scroll down, feature collection. Where are my pages, right? Where's my about page? None of this stuff is formatted yet. So I still need to add the about page to like the navigation. I'm going to need to change out the banner and add my logo image and everything. So I can go through that in a few. If I wanted to add that about page to my navigation, if you look over here on navigation now, I want to add that page to that main top header, right? So here's my main menu. Now what's cool about this is you can just go ahead and click on Add Main Menu. Now notice how it says About Us already. So I want the About Us page, but I don't want to have to go search for it. So I can just type in ABOUT, and then it's going to pull it up for me. Okay, and then I select Add, and now I've got my About page. So my menu would be Home, Catalog, About. Well, I don't want the About there. I want it before the catalog. And now all of a sudden I can move that. I select Save. Now if I look at my preview and I refresh, now the About page is there. Well, I want the About underneath the Home. I want it as a drop down. So it's pretty simple to actually do that as well. So you can just take this guy and just drag it underneath, and notice how it gives this little arrow, and now it's underneath Home. I select Save. Now if I look at this, there's a little drop down. I have to click on it because of this theme, and now I've got my About page, and it's ugly because there's nothing on there, okay? Okay. So let's go back into the side here. So I've covered pages, the navigation. The same thing with your collections, which are categories. If I click on products and I want to add all of my categories, they're underneath this collections section, right? Well, I don't have any products right now. I'll go over collections in another video. I'll go over adding products in another video. So I'm just going to finish doing the setup. So initially what I do is I just add one collection in here just so I can add something that I have. So I'll create a collection. Now collections work 2 ways, right? So I can have what's called a smart collection where it's automated and then it'll select products based on whatever it is that I select down here. So I can select it by product title, the type, vendor, price, tag, product price, weight, etc. So say for instance I have 1,000 products in here and I don't want to manually add them to this category. Well, I'm going to select the product title, right? And I want everything that contains wares in it, right? So I'll put W-A-R-E-Z. Well, if the product title contains wares, anything that contains wares is going to show up. Well, I don't have a name for this yet, so I'm just going to call this, let's just call this gadgets. Okay, and my cool gadgets, and you got your content. Okay, and then I have automated. Well, all the conditions have to be met. So if I create multiple conditions, the product title is this, the tag is that, and then this, it says if they all have to be met. So say for instance I have the product tag is equal to videos, right? So I have all, or DVDs, right? Let's just say DVDs. So in order for products to show up under this collection, they have to contain, the title has to contain wares, and the tag has to be equal to DVDs. Otherwise it won't show up, right? So if I don't want to deal with this and not use the automated selections, and I can actually add the products just manually. Well, you have to choose one or the other. The problem is you can't come back in later and add manual products to a smart collection. It gets a little a little tricky. So if I wanted to choose and I only had 5 products, I would just select manual and then select my products. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, and I'm going to go ahead and discard this collection. And then now I've discarded it. I don't have anything left. I'm going to go ahead and add a product, and I'm going to add my first product. And then I'm going to go back to the collection, create that collection, and show you how it works. Okay. So I'm going to add 2 products. So I'm just going to call this product 1. Whatever, 1. And let's test 1. Right? And then you can put all your stuff in here. You can format it. I can make my text, put my images, link them. I can float them and all that fun stuff. Okay. So if you notice over here, it says product availability available on one channel. So if I click on manage, right now it's only on online store. Well, I have the ability to add other sales channels. Okay, I could add other sales channels to Shopify easily. Point of sale, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, eBay, buy button, Messenger, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so you can go through and add those. Once you add them, you do have to have accounts with those particular vendors. So say, for instance, you choose Facebook, you have to have a Facebook shop already set up, and then you hook it into your shop, and then the products will sync, etc. So that's another animal. So I'm going to go ahead, and then once you click on manage, then you would have online store and you would have Facebook. So you can actually sell on both, but by default you'll always sell for online store. So if you had your Facebook set up and your shop set up, then you would click on manage, and then you'd have the ability to select both channels. Okay, so product type, I'm just going to call it DVD. Okay, and then for the vendor, I'm just going to say Miramax. Okay, and then you hit enter, and it'll just add it for you. And then the collections, I don't have any collection right now, so I'm going to leave that alone. Otherwise, I can choose the collections I wanted it to be in. So say I had 15 different, or 2 different collections I want it to be in. I want it to be under DVDs, and I want it to be under new products. And I had 2 collections called that, DVDs and new products. I can select checkbox next to each one, and then this product would show up in both collections. Tags. Tags are really good because you can use this for search engine optimization. You can also use this to tag the products so that it can be classified inside the collections. So in our case earlier, I would have DVD, right? So there's my tag for DVDs, all right? So, and if I'm going to stick with that, so then what I need to do is call this wares, all right? So now I've got product 1 wares. I add an image. You can upload an image, whatever you want to upload. Choose whatever image you're going to put on there. It'll put it on there. You can upload multiple images. It'll all show up here. And then you can drag whichever image you want to be the main image. The price, I'm going to say it's $20. Now, this is where the MSRP price goes in. So compare at price. So say it was $29.95, right? So this will show $29.95 with a slash through it, and it'll show 20 here. Cost per item, that's your own in-house stuff. Charge taxes on this product if you have your taxes set up. Then you can put your SKU in, whatever, barcode if you have one. Shopify tracks this product. So if you don't want to track inventory, it's very important that you select don't track inventory. Then that way you don't have to worry about products going into out of stock and not showing on your store. So if you do want to track them, then you can put in your inventory in here, and then it'll show it in there. And then it'll, allow. It is a physical product. It's going to be 1 pound, right? And then customs information. You can select this if you have those types of products. You know what that is, Shopify fulfillment. You have Overlow, and then you've got Shopify. I only have Overlow on here as an app I added just for testing. But your fulfillment service is going to be Shopify always. And then say this is a variant of this guy, so I've got a size for it. So I got a size, I got small, enter, medium, right? Hit enter, and large, and hit enter. Okay, so now when I do that, it's going to give me individual pricing for these as well. So I can change this one to $22 and this one to $23. Okay. Now I can save the product. So now I've got a product that's been created. Okay. Now I can view it on the store if I want, or I can create another product. So I'm just going to go back into the collections just so you can see how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and create a collection, and I'm going to call it Where's One, whatever. Where's One, and then whatever here, okay. And then I'm gonna make it automated, so it's anything. It's the product title contains where's, W-A-R-E-Z, right? And I'm not gonna add anything else, so I go ahead and hit product availability, okay, and then you can add a collection image if you want that as well. I'll click Save, and let's see what this does. So I've created Save, and now it's actually found the product wares. I didn't add an image to it, otherwise it would show the image here for me. So it found the product called wares, and it added it automatically to this collection. So now, if I get into my catalog here, here's my product, right? So I don't have the collection available up here. So how do I get to it? I go to my home page. Home page isn't set up yet, right? Banner's not set up. None of this stuff's set up. But there's my featured image. This is just based on the theme. Okay, so now what I want to do is go ahead and add the collection up here so I can get to it, right? So I can go to catalog, which has everything, but I want to actually add the collection to the navigation bar. So I go to Store, go to Navigation, and then I scroll down, go to Main Menu, and then I'm going to go ahead and add it. I'm just going to add it to the main menu, so because I want to do that. W-A-R-E. Oh, there you go. So now, see, it didn't find the name exactly, but I know it's a collection. There's my Where's one. And then if you enter these tags in here, it will really detail and limit whatever is in here. So if you put, DVD, then it's only going to show the DVDs in there. So you don't want to do that. So just like Add. So now I've selected Add. I got Where's. I need to save it. And now I need to refresh. And now here's my collection. I click on Where's. I don't have an image, but let me go ahead. There's my was price and my new price. I go ahead and click on the product. And there's no product image, otherwise it'd be on the left there. But if you notice, so you got $20. Now let me select medium, $22, and it's sold out because I was tracking inventory, right? So I was tracking inventory on these. Now look, large, sold out. But the small's there, right? Because that's the default product. So if I want to actually fix the inventory on those two, I just go back into the product. And I'm going to scroll down. Right? Here's my inventory. So I can just click in there and I'll put 10 for that, and I'll put 5 for that, and then you have 4 for that, and you select Save. So now if I go back here and I refresh, I'll go ahead and go to medium. It's still available, and large is 23. And there's my old price. And you can also set a was and is price for each one of those two in the same section. So I'm going to make this window a little smaller. And then say, for instance, here's my, I'm going to go ahead and edit it. There we go. And I scroll down, and there's my compare price. Well, the $22 one is really $31.95. And then I save that. So now the medium is $31.95. Let me refresh. So there's $20.95 for the large, right? And then the medium, $31.95, then 22. And then small is $29.95, 20. Okay. Okay, so I've added a product, I've added a collection, okay? If I wanted to add another collection, and I wanted to manually add, so I'm going to create another collection, and I'm going to call it Where's To. I'll put the same product in there, whatever. You can add a collection image. It's already available on 0 of 1 channels, so make it available, so it's on there, and I'm going to go manual, and notice how that section changes down there. Alright, so and I still edit the website SEO just as I did before. I'm going to select save, sorry. And now look, I have the ability to add products to this. So I don't know what product, so I'm just going to type in W-A-R-E. Oh, there's my product, right? And I select add. So you can add them manually, right? And since it does it dynamically, you don't have to select save on the product, okay? It's only when you make other edits, like if I selected an edit inside of here. Okay, so I could add as many products as I need to in there. And if you have a lot of products that have the word where's in it, whenever I type that up, it would show me all products. And you can select all of them. Okay? So now I have my other collection created with one product, but that's not in the navigation bar. So now I need to add that to the navigation bar. I usually do this as a flow. I add all the collections first, and I go back in and I add them all to navigation as I need to. So I'm going to go main menu, and then I'm going to go ahead and add it. Let's put where's underneath catalog. And then if you notice, I can add it directly to this instead of just adding to the main menu. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it to the catalog. I'm going to type in W-A-R-E-Z. And now I've got 2 in there with the same name. So where's 1, where's 2? Select add. So now I've got 2. I'm going to select save. And then I go back over to this guy. I select refresh. And now I've got everything underneath my catalog. And where's 1, where's 2? Real simple. Okay. So I go ahead and click on where's 2. No image because I didn't add anything because I was lazy. And then I went ahead and go here. Here's my product. All right, same style. Now it's the same product, but it's in both collections now. So if you needed a separate product called Product 2 Wears, then obviously you put that in here and have its own pricing and everything. Okay. So domains, I'm not going to talk about that now. You do that at the very end when your store is finished, and then you go ahead and you hook up your domain. It's pretty simple. You can buy a domain. If you buy a domain through Shopify, you got to deal with them. But you don't want to transfer the domain. It's just easier if you register through like GoDaddy or someone else. You log into your GoDaddy account, you connect existing domain, and then you type in the domain name that you want to use, and then it'll actually set it up automatically for you. Otherwise, you have to point the records to Shopify, and there's forums and other things on how to do that. Preferences, this is where you set up your homepage title. I'm going to call it Cool Wares. And then I end up adding my description in here, cool wares and gadgets, whatever I want to call it, right? And then if you notice down here, it's giving me this 320. But you usually want to stick to like 170 is a good way to do it. But some engines pick up larger, longer characters for that. Your analytics, if you want to track the statistics on here, there are built-in analytics, but it's just for sales and things like that. If you want to see visitors and everything else like that, you're going to want to set up an analytics account. And you can go to analytics.google.com and set up your analytics account, and then you just paste the code in here, and you're good to go. If you are going to go through the Facebook, you want to track stuff through your Facebook pixel, you have to log into your Facebook account, go to your settings, get your Facebook pixel ID, and then paste that in here. I'll cover that in another video. Oh, and lo and behold, there's our password protection. So now if I enter this he who into the site up here, let's go ahead and remind me in an hour. Whoops, sorry about that. Enter using a password, and I just type in he who, and I hit enter, and now I'll be able to see the site. And so if you give that to anybody else, then they'll be able to take a look at the website for you as well. You can also share a preview because you're the admin. You can always send somebody a link. So I can go share a preview, and here's a link you can copy and send to somebody, so they can take a look at the website without having to enter that stupid password if you don't remember the password. Okay, so I'm not going to cover this customization of the actual thing. I'm going to finish the setup. Okay, so we're doing a basic setup to set up Shopify. So I'm going to leave the password protection enabled. Google reCAPTCHA, you definitely want to turn this on. This is for that little thing that says I'm not a robot that pops up on the bottom of your forms and things like that, contact forms. It stops and helps spam, so I'm going to click save. And it's cool because it has its own, you don't have to worry about getting keys or anything. When you add this to a regular website, you have to go register with Google, then you got to create your CAPTCHA, and et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of a pain. Let's go under settings. And then we'll go through all the settings: general, payment providers, checkout, shipping, etc., etc. So let's go through general. This has our information at the store name. You can change that at any time. That's going to change up here if you do that. Legal name of the business, you're going to want to enter that in. The phone number of the business, you're going to want to enter that. This defaults to our existing address, but you can put whatever address you need in there. Your California, your time zone, system. Default weight pounds, keep it there. Edit order ID. So say for instance you wanted to have, it just tells you right here, you can't change the order number itself, but you can change the prefix or the suffix. So say you have another store and you're transferring over to this in your book system, say QuickBooks has your orders at 1003, right? Well, you don't want to set that up here. You want to actually start this at a higher number. Your store's not launched yet, so you want to call this like 1200 or 1500 or 2000 or something else, right? You get a prefix. So notice how my prefix changed here, right? See that? 22, or I get a suffix at the end, right? So however you want to do it, then that way you don't mess up your book system. It's very important. It's kind of something that's interesting that people don't realize. They just start getting the orders and they go, oh, I already have a 1001 from 2 years ago. So you're going to want to look at your QuickBooks or at your FreshBooks or at your Zoho books or whatever books you're using and find out what your latest order is, and then add like 1,000 to it, and then you can put that number in here, or just add a 1 or whatever it's going to be in order to. Store currency, US dollar. You can obviously select your own. Once you're finished, just select save. Everything's good to go. I can go back to the settings here. Payment providers is the next step. So again, here's the payment providers, and then you're actually going to have to select activate Shopify Payments. And then once you do this, you're going to have to go through a series of steps to enter your bank account information and validate and verify yourself. Okay. Next is the express checkout. So say for instance you wanted to add, this is built in by default. You should activate the Shopify Payments first and then activate PayPal Express Checkout. It is by default inside of Shopify. They give it to you. So if you go ahead and enter that, you just enter the email address that is related to your PayPal account and you are good to go. Amazon Pay, some of these, if you activate these, you're going to end up paying additional money. So Amazon Pay works just like the checkout. They're not going to charge you. You only charge fees based on the vendor. So Amazon will charge you, and then PayPal has its own fees, right? That you're already paying. So you don't have to pay anything additional. Third-party providers. So here's where you would actually choose your third-party provider. So say, for instance, you wanted to add another selection onto this. So you wanted to do authorized net, right? So you select authorized net. Well, what's going to happen is now you're going to be adding that percentage rate on top of your charges, right? So Shopify, based on what I showed you earlier, Shopify is going to charge you that 2%, that 1%, etc., on top of your merchant account fees through your provider. So if you absolutely have to do that and you want to do that, then you can do that. And then you have alternative payment methods. This is where you can actually third party or Shopify Payments, choose an alternative. You have Affirm, Afterpay, Global, Bill Pay. Same thing with this. They're all a bunch of different payment providers. You can look at that yourself in there. Not recommended, but if you need to use that, you can. I'll go ahead and scroll down, and you also have manual payments, right? So here you have money order, cash on delivery. You can usually set up money order or cash on delivery if you want to test your store, and then that way just for orders, so you can see what the orders look like, and you can see what the emails look like after someone places an order. You can also look at the templates within Shopify in order to be able to see the templates for that. So capturing payments. So if you have Shopify set up or whatever set up, automatically capture payments for orders. Customers' payment method is authorized and charged automatically at that time. Okay, so if you manually capture payments for orders, what's going to happen is you're going to get an email, and it's only authorized the credit card. It said, hey, Joe Blow's credit card is good to go. And say you have a product that you don't ship out for like a month or 2 weeks or whatever, and then you charge the credit card when you ship it. So then you would come back into the order and you would actually select it and charge the credit card at that time and then ship the product. So it's up to you on how your process works, but that's exactly how that works, okay? Let's go back to settings, go into checkout. So as your online process, so you can customize the checkout. This is just where you put your logo in and you look at you change the colors and things like that. So when Shopify has this checkout page, it is, it's pretty generic. Here's my name, Cool Wares, right? So if I have my logo here, I would actually put the logo in there, and then it'll have my other information here. Here's my reCAPTCHA, right? So it saves me from the bots and everything. Then you have theme settings. You can mess around with your colors, and you can have typography, social media, favicon, etc. I'll go ahead and go back to the main theme there. You click on that little suitcase, and then I'm going to go back to the settings because I want to get back over there, and I'm going to go ahead and work on the shipping. So now it's manage how you ship orders. So like I said, USPS is set up by default through Shopify. So when you come in here, it's going to give you the shipping origin. Well, you go, oh, wait a minute, this isn't the shipping origin, right? You can change the shipping origin. Well, you need to actually add a location, another location. So say, for instance, I have 3 locations. I have a warehouse, I have my retail location, etc. You click on Manage Locations. It'll take you to locations. Just go ahead and do that. And then you go ahead and add a location. Okay, so I add one, and then you could go ahead and put in your Paris warehouse, your address, everything else, and then you can use that location as the actual default shipping location for all of your shipping. Okay, so you're using one of 8 available with the plan, and then the higher the plan you get, the more locations you get. So disregard the Overload app. I put that on there earlier. I do apologize. Okay, so let's go to settings. Okay, and let's go back to shipping. So it's going to ship from here. It's going to give all my rates from San Diego. So if I ship from San Diego and I ship it to Los Angeles, it's going to calculate the shipping rate from, and also tax, right, from San Diego to California. Well, if I ship cross country or wherever, then it's also going to do the shipping rates based on what the domestic shipping zone rates are here, right? So USPS is going to calculate them automatically. You have these different zones, these shipping zones. So say, for instance, I'm going to click on Edit here for the shipping zones for domestic, right? Well, this shows me 62 of 62 states and territories. Here's my price-based weights, my weight-based rates, and then calculated rates, right? So if I want to, say, for instance, every product up to, I want to have free products, right? And I want to do price-based weight. Anything up to $2 is free. You can go ahead and select Add Rate. And then you just go free shipping, right? And then a minimum order is a 0, but I want to do it up to $5. I'll do 4.99. So everything up to here, let's do up to 5. Everything up to $5 is going to be free shipping. You check this little box here, and then you put in business 0, and then you're good to go. So what will happen is this will now, and I'll save it obviously. Here we go. So anything up to $5. Right? Or you can do weight-based if it's up to 2 pounds or 1 pound, whatever. You do the same thing. You put the free shipping. So I want it to ship for free. Up to that. Anything over that, it's going to do automatic calculations. So if I go ahead and click on Edit here, well, I don't ship to the Armed Forces Americas and Armed Forces Europe and Armed Forces. So I don't. You want to take a double check this and make sure that you're deselecting the areas where you're not going to select or ship to. I'm not going to ship to Alaska, and then some people don't ship to Hawaii, and they change their rates there because they're more expensive. So I select Done. So now I've got these sets, right? And I can manage that. So I'm looking at domestic, countries, price-based, calculated rates, right? So now I'm done. Well, I still need to ship to Alaska and Hawaii. So how do I do that? So now I need to go ahead and add another region, and I can select rest of the world. I can select the rest of the country, the rest of whoever, right? So that I want to ship to, and I can make my own shipping rates for them. I'm not going to do that now. Price-based, weight-based. Let's go back to shipping. What I need to do is add another zone. So right now the rest of the world is going to get DHL Express, and they're going to do UPS check. If I don't want to ship to the rest of the world, I can just deactivate that. I go in there and I can select all those countries and just take them out of there. So I don't want to ship it all over the world. I just want to ship to, here's my countries, and you manage them, and you go ahead and you turn them all off. Okay, it's just the best way to do that. I need to add Alaska and Hawaii, so I'm going to add a shipping zone, and I'm going to call it Alaska, Hawaii. And I'm going to go ahead and add the country. And let's type in United States. So here's my 5 of 6. See, it's showing me 5 because I deselected them from the other USPS settings. So I'm going to go ahead and select that and select Save. So now it's added the Armed Forces in there, Alaska and Hawaii. Well, I still don't want to show there's Alaska, and then Hawaii should be selected. Hawaii selected, but Armed Forces, I still don't want to, sorry guys, don't want to send to you. Select Done. So now I just have Alaska and Hawaii. So I can actually put in weight-based rates if I want to say, well, Alaska's more money, so I want it to do, an extra $10, whatever. Calculated rates. So you can add rates here. Automatic offer new shipping services when they become available. USPS discounted from Shopify Shipping. UPS, sorry, discounted rates from Shopify Shipping. So you got to figure out what your percentage rates are going to be, how you're going to do that. So features automatically offer new shipping services. So if I look at USPS discounted rates from Shopify, rates are based on, right, rate adjustments, percentage. So you can increase them, decrease them, etc. That's what you're going to want to do there. Okay, I'm going to discard that because I don't need it. Take that out of there. And I'll hit cancel. I don't need to set it up. Let's see what else. Oh, label format. You can actually do 4x6s or 8. You can print a test label and see how that's going to look. You got your different selections here. There's your sample box, saved packages. So if you ship in certain package sizes, you can add your different packages in there. Packing slip template, you can edit that guy. Carrier accounts. So if you have UPS, USP, or UPS or FedEx, you just contact Shopify, tell them you want to add your carrier. They'll charge you an extra $20 a month on top of your plan, and then you can connect your carrier account. You just select it, and then it'll start charging you the additional fee. You have to make sure that you have an account with them. Custom order fulfillment, add email fulfillment service that fulfills orders for you. So say, for instance, somebody else fulfills the orders, you can add the fulfillment service here. You put their name, their email address, and whenever an order comes in, it'll send it to them, and they can fulfill the order for you. Okay, let's go back to settings. Taxes. It does by default based on your local area. So when you set up Shopify and you put in your information, it's going to go ahead and do a default rate for you. So if I click on edit, calculate taxes automatically. Right now it does California because I set up California in there. But say I needed to do this for another state, right? So I'll just type in Arizona, and then you put in the zip code, add the state, and then it'll pull up the percentage rates for you. Okay. Tax overrides, you can override the taxes by adding an additional percentage fee if you want to. Let's go back here. Rest of the world, not collecting taxes, right? And then also if you ship, so say for instance I'm in California, but I ship to New Jersey, they're not going to pay taxes, okay, on that, unless you want to. Some internet laws say that you should charge taxes for each area that you send, and Shopify allows that ability. You can add all those states, and it'll charge taxes on all those areas for you. Show all taxes with the taxes included, so people don't want to see the tax. You can charge taxes on shipping rates, and the VAT is for digital goods. This is usually for European customers, Canadian, stuff like that. Let's go back to settings. Taxes, locations, we already talked about that. Gift cards. So gift cards never expire. Technically, they're a money product, so if someone purchases something, it's money, but it's up to you. You can expire the gift cards if you want. Apple Wallet, you can allow people to actually add Apple Wallet, which is really cool, and pay for the gift cards with Apple Wallet. Notifications, so notifications here, order confirmation, everything. So you can see these templates to get variables. So I'm going to go ahead and just open this in a new page here. And you can look at the different things that you can actually add to the individual templates. So it gets a little codey, and you can order that, create that, tags, tag timeline, etc. So if you like messing around with code and you want to change some of the things that are in there, you can do that, or you can contact us and we can edit these forms for you. If I want to edit the order confirmation email, I go ahead and select that. Now if you look here, it says logo, URL, path, and it has some other kind of cool stuff that you can add, things that we just looked at. But here's hi James, in my instance, we're getting your order ready, blah, blah, blah. And then you can actually paste this into an editor if you don't know what this looks like. A lot of times you can just copy this whole thing, and then if you want to open up another website, there's this website called html-online.com/editor. It's html-online.com/editor, and then you can just paste your source over here. I'm going to let this load. It loads this default here. Let's see. Free demo limit, whatever. So this gives me the formatting at least on how it would look when someone gets it sent. So if you want to change it to subtotal 2 or whatever you want to change the text in there, it's always better to not mess with this code, but if you feel comfortable with doing that, you can. I'm going to go ahead and close that because it looks really bad. So I don't really want to edit anything on here. Okay, I don't need to add anything. I don't need to make it look any certain way. So, but if I had a preference and I wanted to look a certain way, I would do that. You can preview it here, and then it shows you here's your order, thank you for your business, order summary. So you can take a look at it. And if I had my logo in there, it would also show up. Okay. Test email, you can send one to yourself to see how it's going to look. It'll look just like that preview that I showed you. Order canceled, order refund, same thing. You just go through all of these and you can click on them, and then you can change the way they look. For editing them, new order template. Down here, if you wanted to have additional recipients to get the order notification, so say for instance, you want to make sure that you get a copy, but your sales department also gets a copy, so you can add a recipient here, and then you put in the email address of the person, and then add an admin. Then you get a test notification. You can send a test to yourself and see how that looks. Desktop notifications are cool, so if you're on your desktop and you enable these, you actually get a ping, and it'll pop out and show you every time you get a notification. Webhooks, you're not really going to use that unless you're doing a programming or having an app developed or something's integrated for you there. Files. This is where all of your files are. You don't have any files yet. So if I uploaded an image or I put something on here, or you can click on it if you want, and it shows you exactly what it is. I don't need this image, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn it off, kill it, get rid of it. Okay. It's always a good idea to try to compress your images if possible. There's a tinyjpeg.com, tinyjpeg.com, or tinypng.com. This thing's awesome. You just drag your files here, you download them, and it makes these huge files like half the size usually, and let them load fast. So it's good practice to get into if you want to make sure that your website loads fast. Even though this Shopify does compress the images down and shows different size files, it's always nice not to, overburden their server as well. So let's see here. Files, sales channels, we talked about that earlier. That is adding Facebook, Instagram, and other accounts. Again, you're going to need to have those accounts set up already. In the case of Facebook, you need to have a shop set up, and then you can sync it with that. It'll pop up and allow access. Okay. And then when you're ready, you can sell your products directly through Shopify on Shopify as well as on Facebook. And if you hook up Instagram, same thing. Okay. Account, this is where all your information is. Account owner, etc. Staff accounts, you'll be added as a staff account once we make these development sites for you. And then it will be handed off to you through this system. You could also add any of your people that need to be added. First name, last name, say somebody is working on the site for you at your office, you can add them. You can either give them full permissions or enable the positions that they have access to. So if you're only giving them access to products and to collections, you can do that, or if you want to give them access to everything else, you can. And then it sends them an invite, and then they have to accept the invite on their email, and then it'll allow them in. If you look down here, it says work with an expert, pause your store, close your store. Don't worry about this stuff. Hire an expert. You can just contact us, of course, 619-702-7377, After Dark Graphics. Also information down in the description here. I do apologize for the quality. Sound quality is a little low on this video. I'll try to increase it. Okay, so let's go back to settings. And then we go to billing, and then you're going to actually put your billing information in there. Nothing is actually added right now because it is a development store. Okay, you go to settings, legal. This is where you actually put the information that it just tells you. You can create legal pages, create them from templates and customize them, blah, blah, blah. Keep your store, it's not about using these templates, you agree that. So these templates really show on like checkout footer, and actually you're sent to them in emails and things like that. So you can create your own template by using their information and just edit it. You just scroll down here. They do one for privacy, they do one for the refund and then the terms of service, but they don't do one for shipping. So you're gonna have your own stuff. If you do make these here, you are gonna wanna make pages in tandem on the website underneath online store. So typically what we'll do is we'll create a page over here and then call the page like terms, or call it shipping and returns, or whatever. Some people like to split them up and call them different things all together. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so it gets rid of that page. So I can add the terms and everything to one page, and then I can add it to the footer or whatever. So lastly, I'm going to talk about a quick customization. So that's the setup, and then online store here, you have the themes, right? And so right now this shows me this debut theme, right? And it's free. Then you have other free themes, and then you have visit store themes. So I can actually change the theme here, or I can actually edit. Say I like this theme, this debut theme, right? So I like this theme, so I'm going to go ahead and click on customize. And then what this does is it'll open up a new window and allow me to customize this theme very easily. Well, this is a very generic base theme, so the header I can change and put the logo in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put an old logo from another company in here. Let's just use free images. Let's do women's fashion, and then we'll just throw her up there. Okay, and we'll put select. So now it's going to put her little image up there. Okay. Custom logo width, 100 pixels. You can make it larger, you can make it larger, etc. Main menu, you can change the menu. Announcement, this is kind of cool because you have a little announcement bar. You can say something here, and then you can change the color of the announcement. So say, for instance, that you want that to be red because it's an alert color. Okay, let's make it red. There we go. And then you can say whatever you want to say. You know, free shipping over 100. Okay, and then you can link that if you want. So if I wanted to link that to a page or a product or whatever, you can do that as well. I don't really feel like doing that. And then once I'm finished, you can go ahead and, I like the way it looks, click on save. So now if I go back to the preview page and hit refresh, now I'll see the logo, and I'll see the red bar, and now I see navigation. And I did remove the about page, so there's no about anymore. So next I want to work on this banner. Okay, it's in the center. So I got image text with overlay. So this is just image text, but I really wanted to have a banner here, like a rotating banner. So there's a slideshow that's already there, or you can add a section, and then you can select which one you want. So say, for instance, I want a gallery, I can click that. And then I like the way this gallery looks, I can click on add. And then I have to check the images and add images in here, what I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and do free images again. I'll do men's fashion. And I'm just going to throw one of those in there. I like that one. And I'll collapse that. And then I like the second one. Select another image. Go to free images. Men's fashion. That. I select another one. So you can actually create this kind of cool, gallery, whatever, from free images, or use your own. So you're not like left in limbo. Well, I don't want the gallery to show up at the bottom. I want it to show up like after the banner. And then, so I'll just go ahead and drag that guy right there. And then I don't want to have that image there. I want to use a slideshow. So I throw that up there. Move this down, right? And then, so there's my slideshow. And you do the same thing. You go ahead and edit it. Add the first image. Show overlay, 5 seconds. How often do you want it to show? So here's your image slide, right? So I'll go ahead and select an image. Let me go to free images, and I'll pick summer, whatever. There's the first one. It's huge, but whatever. And then you can change the copy that's there. Go loading, whatever. And you can make a button label. I'll click here. And you can link it to product. I'll just link it to product where's page. And then you can, edit that content and copy and everything how you want. So say if you like the way it looks, click on save. Now I go back here, I refresh. And now I've got this banner image. Well, there's no other banners in there yet, so there's no slideshow. There's my gallery. I can get rid of that thing. Feature collection, image with text. So it's pretty self-explanatory as you go down. And then there's the footer down there, so I'll show you that. Here's the footer. There's quick links, which is this guy right here. So I can add footer menu. And so this basically says it's going to show this footer menu. Well, I don't have anything else on my footer, right? So if I want to change that, I can go back and click on the little Shopify suitcase there, and then I go to my navigation, and then you notice I have a footer menu. Well, I want to add some other stuff to my footer menu, so let me see what I got here. Let's go to a page. I don't have any pages. Let's go back. Let's go to collections. I'll just throw in wares. Okay, save. Now I go ahead and refresh, and I'll scroll to the bottom, and now I've got wares and search. So it is pretty simple. All of the templates are different. Well, say for instance I change to a different template, and I'm going to finish off here by doing this. So I'm going to go to the online store. I really like, I saw this other theme that I like, so I'm going to go ahead and select explore free themes, and then I like this design instead. Okay, or I like, let me see here, Boundless is pretty cool. Bliss, Debuts the one I'm using, Brooklyn, Narrative, Minimal. So let me I'll choose Venture, that's a pretty popular one. So here's the way it's laid out. It's not going to look like that when you put it in there. You have to add your own graphics and your own text and stuff. So here's an outdoors one, and then there's a boxing one, That's kind of cool. They set it up to, so you can see how it's going to look. So I'm just going to choose the snowboards. Add theme to library. Okay, so it's not active yet, right? And it's loading in there. So say my store's live and theme's going, whatever. I can actually just preview this guy. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to have to publish it. There we go. Publish. So once I publish that, all of the customizations that I did to the debut theme are gone. So I need to redo everything in here. Okay. So if I just look at this the way this is now, my logo's gone. My menu's still there, right? But my slideshow's gone. Everything else that was set up inside that other theme is gone. So when you do switch from theme to theme, just note that if you did any customizations, you're going to have to go in and redo them. Okay, it doesn't keep them on saved because each of the themes are different, and it saves it in a different database within Shopify. So again, if I had to do the slideshow, I go to slide, I select my images, I'll pick my free image, whatever. It's summer. Let's get a pineapple. All right. All right, and then I have the collections down here. This is collections list, so I'll select my only collection wares I have here and select save. I don't have any image there, otherwise an image would show up, right, for it. So once you're finished, click save. And then I'll refresh. And now I've got my slide, my pineapple, my wares with no image because I have no image. But you're going to have to redo the customizations. So if you do go from theme to theme and you're trying different themes, just know that. So it's always a good idea to find out what theme you want to use first and then go from there. Otherwise, you can select the theme without making it published. So for instance, you can, let's make the debut theme, let's publish that guy. Okay, so we're going to publish the debut theme, and it saves all my settings from before. Okay, so now if you look under Venture now I have the ability to preview this without publishing it, right? So I can look at this, and I can make changes to this published preview. So I can customize this even though it's not my active published theme. So then that way I don't break my existing website. So you see it says draft over here. So I'm going to add a different slide. I'm going to start adding the menus. I'm going to make this look wonderful the way I want it to look, and then once it's finished, then I can publish it. Okay, so that way it's not just a site sitting in limbo, right? So let's put this guy looking at his phone on here. There we go. All right, select. All right, save. So again, it's not published. If you select publish from here, it is going to publish the site. All right, let's just go back. Let's go back here. All right, so you did all this work and you want it to stay, you want to keep a copy of it. When you do this, you actually get all of the design files and everything. You go download the theme file, and then it's going to email you the theme. So it'll send you a link, and then you go ahead and click on that link to download it, and it'll download the theme. Now, if you're trying to do if you're trying to back up the entire store, you can really only just back up the orders and then the products by exporting a CSV. So you just go to export, right, and then you do all products, and then I'll send you an email with the products list. You can't do the collections, unfortunately, so you can't export those. You can select them all, and then you can do your actions, whatever. But that's, unfortunately, you cannot do that unless you use an app. Okay. And the same thing, you have orders, products, and then collections. Everything else, you can't download the store. So that's the only setback with Shopify, aside from that. One other thing to keep in mind, so with products for Shopify, this is the last thing I'll cover. So if you look at these variants, Shopify only allows you 100 variants. That means that if I have size for a product, and then I have weight. I have size, I have color, I have shape. Those are 3 variants, right? The options on the variants, I have up to 100. So right now, I'm going to add a simple product and show you how this works. So let me add a product. This is a limitation on Shopify products, but you can get around this by adding an app. Custom options by Bold is a good one. So I'm just going to call this test options. All right. Okay, and you put all your other stuff in there and everything. Okay, so I'm just going to go down there and show this to you. Physical product, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's call it $1. $2. And then I don't want to track it. I'll say save. So I've saved my product. Now watch what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and add variants here. So I'm going to call this size small, medium, and then I have another option. Okay, color, blue, black, right? And then I've got another option, a material, cloth, something, whatever, right? But it says modify the variants to be created. Okay, apparel, whatever. I don't know, cloth, wool. Okay, so if you look at this, they're gone. I can't add any more options. You see that? So now it's only given me, it's given me all of these, which is going to create all of these options, right? In order to be able to tag them and change them and stuff. It doesn't let me have an additional one. So say you have another variant, another variant, another variant, you can't do it. So that's the only one of the setbacks with Shopify. But you can use custom options or infinite options to add more options to your products. So there is a way to do it, and it's always best to contact someone like me or another expert in order to be able to understand what is capable before you launch into a huge store where you need a lot of options. Okay, so it's just something to think about. Then lastly, I'll cover wholesale. There are apps where you can add to the site to allow for the wholesale pricing, so you can keep all your customers and everything in one site, or you can build a separate website for wholesale. So some people like to do that. So if you do have the wholesale orders, a lot of times what will happen is they make you create additional products that are exact same copy of the product, and just call it WH for wholesale. With some of the apps, you can actually use the same product, and they just change the pricing. So if you want to talk about that, we can also discuss that. But that's it. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us. sales@afterdarkgraphics.com. It's sales@afterdarkgraphics.com. I am James Byrne. Thank you very much for listening, and hopefully you can subscribe down below. Go ahead and hit that Shopify referral link, so maybe I get a little money from that. We do appreciate it. Any other questions, feel free to visit our website. Thank you.